Hey, welcome back to the Kingsway Podcast.
Welcome to episode 250.
Woo!
This is our
That's wild.
quarter millennial
Bicentennial?
but that would be 2.5.
Bicentennial and a quarter and a half a century.
Our bison episode. Yeah.
Docentennial slash.
So to inaugurate this milestone in the Kingsway Podcast, we're going to do something that only visual watchers and audio listeners will appreciate visually. But we've been talking about it. We can't find our coffee mugs. We got a coffee pot right here. And what came in the mail? Our special something from Santa.
I was glad that you you had something to open.
Oh, I remember.
Because I was like, I don't have anything to open this with. I have not seen them, by the way. I have no idea what they're going to look like.
I had input on the design, but this is one of those, it's from like an Etsy shop. And so it's like, here's what I'd like on there. They don't send you proofs. They just send you the mugs. This is what you did. So
please don't cut yourself. It would be in a great episode, start of an episode. How do you do a tourniquet? That would be.
Did you see that? Put the thing
Oh, yeah.
Special podcast present. For the audio listeners, I'm about 10% into this. I'll be done by the end of the episode. Okay.
Hey, thank you.
Care instructions. Don't dishwash. I won't. Okay, let me get all this trash out of here.
Oh, no. Bubble wrap. Booyah.
My mortal enemy.
Oh, look. Ooh, the curve.
If you drop it, I will drop you.
Ooh, they're like textured.
I like that. Yeah, our last ones were like dumb old office mugs. This is like...
Got some texture to it. That's going to be hard not to
show
want.
the other side.
Booyah.
Yeah. So they're pretty much the same as our last ones. The logos are a little bigger. Yeah. And are they dusty? Only marginally.
Who didn't get a little healthier from a little dust? You know what I mean?
Me. I have dust allergies. You know that, Trevor. I'm legitimately on a immunotherapy for dust. Anyway, let's break these guys in. Okay, so what are we doing on today's episode?
Well, they can read the title, so they at least have an idea.
But I can't read the title. I'm here. So what are we doing? No, I know what we're doing. So today, to inaugurate or to commemorate, to celebrate 250 episodes, this is the Kingsway Podcast put on by Kingsway Christian Church in Mount Vernon, Missouri. So there are people who work at our church who have not been on the podcast or are not regularly on the podcast.
Yep.
We are going to filter through ours and their hot takes. Now, here's the fun part. We've done hot takes
while
before.
we drink our new hot coffee from our sweet, hot, awesome mugs.
Ow, that's hot. that wasn't a joke.
It's very hot.
So what we've done to make these different than previous ones is I have had my wife, who's one of the people who works here, write down all my and Trevor and all of our staff members, ministry staff, hot takes.
Yep.
So these are both hot takes and they're anonymous.
Yep.
We don't know who.
They
don't have names on them.
Rage bait.
Yeah. That's what we were warned by our family pastor, John. He's like, this shouldn't be called the hot takes episode. This is called the rage bait everybody episode. But no, this is where we sort through hot takes like King Saul and decide what is good and what is bad. What is a hot take and what is a not take.
There's a hot dog a sandwich. I got to cut it in half.
It is. Easy.
So, killed it.
We are not going to reveal whose was whose on the episode.
Nope.
What we're going to do is post them at the bottom of the episode description.
Yep.
So if you want to play along and kind of guess whose is whose, that's how we're going to start. We're going to guess whose this is and then debate the content of the hot take. If you want to play along, you get to decide when you want to see the answers. Do you want to see them at the end?
Yeah, or you look and try to figure. Yeah,
Yeah. Anyway.
Or you can look to see how
Or
we
you can
react
cheat.
after you know.
Yep. Okay, you ready?
Yeah. I mean, just to clarify, we have a family pastor, we have your wife, Sharon, and John is our family, and then we have our junior high director, which is Josie, and then my wife, which is Katrina, who's our early childhood development, and then 4th and 5th grade. So those are the people that we're drawing from, correct?
Yes.
Cap.
Did you mention Sharon?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Sharon's your wife. She's our do everything. She's our online specialist, HR,
Her title
inter-staff
is
communications,
creative director and ministry coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I just like to say all the things she does because it's a very, very long list. Makes everybody look good.
Yeah.
All right, you ready?
Here we go. Number 1. Whose do you think this is?
Oh gosh,
That's upside down. Raising Cane's is the most overrated chicken in the chicken game. I want to start with my emotions, but I'm going to wait and head toward... I didn't realize this could just sit in here in the table.
That's kind of cool.
That is cool.
We totally planned that. We probably should do it almost
The other way?
so
Yeah,
that
we
they
should.
can read it.
I'm going to check the camera angle to see if this... But while I do that, you tell me who you think this is.
I think debatable on whose it is because we said earlier that it's a rage bait. It's not necessarily going to be rage bait for me because I'm not a huge Raging Cane's fan. And so for me, I probably have more information than, than most on this. I think, if I'm being honest, because I need to hear your emotions before I go much further, if you like Raising Cane's, it has more to do with their sauce than it does their chicken.
Yeah.
End of.
I don't like Mountain Dew for the cups. I like it for the thing.
But
Yeah.
But that's like saying you don't like ices. You like ice. Like
let's not debate the content. We have to figure out whose it is.
Okay.
Do you feel like you have insider knowledge into this?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, okay. Then it's either you or Katrina.
That's what I'm saying. It's like the insider knowledge is
I feel like this has to be Katrina.
It is mine.
Okay.
It's my hot take. I don't know if we should have said that at first. We both have ours own in here too.
Yeah,
but
we have our own, so we're just gonna have to name those when they show up.
But yeah,
maybe I won't name mine.
Maybe you won't.
No,
maybe
you'll probably
just play
figure it out if
Yeah,
I don't name it
pretty quick.
Yeah,
that is absolutely mine, and it's because it's Raising Cane's in my mind. It should be a sauce first and chicken last. It's a sauce depository, not about the actual chicken itself.
Here's why you're wrong. At least the Raising Cane's I've been to, this is not an apologetic for all Raising Cane's everywhere to say they're equally good because that's no restaurant. No like multi-location chain restaurant. I think that Raising Cane's sauce is great. I think that their fries and their chicken are a great vessel for the sauce.
Mm-hmm.
I also think their fries and their chicken are easier to make better than most fast food chicken places. So, like, we're lucky that we have the Rangeline and 20th Chick-fil-A.
Mm-hmm.
That is the nation's, or at least was at one point, and if it's not currently, it's like top 2 or 3. It was the nation's best Chick-fil-A.
Mm-hmm.
So we are blessed with a great Chick-fil-A. I know that food YouTuber Joshua Weissman does not like Chick-fil-A at all.
Mm-hmm.
He lives in Austin. The Austin one by him must not be that great. Now, one of the things he talks about in Chick-fil-A and all that is like it doesn't have a lot of crunch or texture. It's like chicken that could have been like unbreaded and fried or like grilled or something inside of a soggy like whatever. I sort of agree with that, but again, we're at the like best Chick-fil-A, so I agree with the fact that it has less texture. Anyway, so compared to Chick-fil-A, compared to the people who aren't known for chicken stuff like Sonic and McDonald's and whatever, that isn't their primary thing. I think Raising Cane's has an easier time being hotter and fresher than the rest of them. And so their range of good to bad stores is more solidly in the good range. I think they're taking the opposite approach of Sonic, which is like the fast food Cheesecake Factory, 47-page menu and no item shares anything with another item. And so like the stuff there high likelihood of being stale, high likelihood of being old, high likelihood of like whatever. I think Raising Cane's, for whatever you don't like about it, chicken wise, is genuinely more likely fresher than most of what else you got. Now, it could be beat out by certain locations of other restaurants. Certain Popeyes are better. Certain Chick-fil-A's are better. But I would say not those restaurants as a whole.
So here's my rebuttal and why. Here's why I wrote this down. One, I said chicken game on purpose because I wasn't trying to compare it to restaurants that serve chicken. It's more that they promote it
that they're
as
a main
this
chicken
is their chicken person.
They're way better than McDonald's.
I'm not trying to say that that's not. They
Dairy
can do
Queen.
a chicken, but the thing that I get frustrated about is when I go to Raising Cane's, I'm not a Raising Cane's sauce fan. And when I am forced to eat their chicken without a sauce that I enjoy, I do not enjoy it. Yep. And when I'm forced to eat KFC without a sauce that I enjoy it. When I'm forced to eat
I understand that.
Chick-fil-A, I like their chicken. I do not like Cane's chicken.
Spiced less.
There's no options. That's my whole point. Like there's no options.
In the batter and all that for Raising Cane's, it isn't more heavily spiced like Popeyes, KFC, etc.
There's no options. You can't go blackened. You can't go like extra crispy. You can't go spicy.
Chick-fil-A, there's like spicy.
You can go all kinds of ways. You can't do that with Raising Cane's. And as a simplistic person as I love, like In and Out, I think Raising Cane's doesn't have like an animal style, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
If you can't go another direction. I just think if they had a really good barbecue sauce or a really good buffalo sauce, that I would instantly change my mind. But the fact that they're like honed in, that this is where they're
honed in on one of the greats of all time, cane sauce.
They are what they are. I just think it's overrated at the end of the day as chicken. That's the only thing I would say. So again, you let us know in the comments. This is why it's a debate. All right?
It's hot takes. So
it's a hot take debate.
Yep. I'm afraid that these aren't shuffled, and so I'm shuffling them.
Yep.
So now that we solved that Trevor's wrong about canes, we'll go on to the next one after I finish shuffling. It's hard to shuffle 8 cards that are left.
Yep.
So I'm doing it the child's way. Star Wars is becoming out of touch and less popular. Put that right there. Who do you think this is?
John.
Yeah.
Is that anything it is?
I think it's John.
Done.
Here's why. I think that either one of us could have written this, but it's not you because you had the other one.
Yep.
I think that it had to be somebody who cared about Star Wars at one point. I doubt Katrina or Josie or Sharon.
I could see Katrina writing it too, but also I just think she just doesn't care enough about Star Wars.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Do you agree, John?
100% agree.
Okay. I think it's John. John told me, did he tell you or did he tell me before this that he realized he has no hot takes? They're just all takes.
Yep.
Normal takes.
They're all normal takes.
This feels like a normal take.
It is, but it's not. I feel like the debate could rage on this depending on who you talk to.
The world of Star Wars has always been tough because the mainstream entry into it is the movies. But then there are like hardcore movie fans, and then there are people who go further and are like, no, the canon is wider than the movies. It's also this book series and these animated shows and this whatever. This is to relate it to Bible stuff because we're a church podcast. Absolutely. Sort of like the Pharisees and the Sadducees, both Jewish religious elites in the time of Jesus. But the Sadducees, I'm pretty sure, only held to the first 5 books of the Old Testament, the Torah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the Pharisees had a wider canon. They had our Christian Old Testament in general. So like they had different takes with it. But this is something I think would generally unite all of those people. The output of Star Wars content, whether just movies or all over, is low and slow and not predictably good.
I think the struggle I have is because it's still such a timeless story.
Yeah.
That like if you get into it, I feel like the content's still there, but it's been oversaturated.
Yes, there's a giant world and you can swim around in that world, and if you find the end, you could start over at the beginning and keep enjoying it. But I don't think it's continually producing stuff, which is why, let me look at this again, out of touch and less popular. I think out of touch, sort of.
Well, I feel
Less
like that'd be a little
popular,
bit of like
yes.
it's supposed to be predicting the future, and the future doesn't necessarily look like that either.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, like it's supposed to be some sort of futuristic understanding.
Yeah.
and so it doesn't feel like sometimes that's lining up. Like I would say it's more like Blade Runner, right? Blade
Yeah.
Runner looks more like the future than our future maybe did in Star Wars, and
Yeah.
so there's like a level I think that it feels a little bit like that's not really the direction our world's going. And so it doesn't connect as much. I don't know. That's kind of.
I also think a lot of stories, the three popular stories that defined my childhood, which were Lord of the Rings, because the movies came out.
Yep.
And then Harry Potter and Star Wars.
I would agree with that.
Of all three of those, they all rely on magic, but
Some sort of. Yes.
I would count the Force as magic.
Yep.
The earlier the prequel trilogy with the midichlorians can get out of here.
Yep.
So it like relied on some sort of magic, and then the background of the story was good and evil. And the more you want to spin new stories out of that stuff, it feels like you need to start finding new ways to tell a similar story or stories with similar characters or places or whatever
to it. Yeah.
One of the things Star Wars did is mess with good and evil. So the main trilogy, 4, 5, and 6, had a very strong good and evil. And then the main hero has to struggle with good and evil, although it's never really that much of a struggle between which one would I like to do. If it's ever a struggle, it's like, is there a chance to stand up to evil and come out the victor?
Absolutely. And I think Indiana Jones, the series of that, Inside My Childhood, was very similar to that, where like it was able to stay inside of its like overarching thought, but it was good versus evil every time.
And then the prequel trilogy for Star Wars was like good versus evil, but you're watching good be corrupted. And then once the corruption has taken power, cut down whatever good branches there still are on the good side and become the evil that you see in 4, 5, 6.
That was such a wicked way to say that.
Mm-hmm.
That was such a wicked way to say that. That was good. If you know, you know.
So it's still good versus evil, but it's like, hey, you better watch out for what you are doing yourself.
Yeah.
Between that and episode 7, the newer trilogy, so much content came out in so many different places about force neutrality.
Do you think The Mandalorian's saving it at all? Because I feel like The Mandalorian kind of had a little bit of...
The Mandalorian and also Andor, which I haven't seen, but I've heard a lot of really great stuff
good.
about.
What was the other solo? Rogue One?
Rogue One
was pretty good.
I thought those were all great attempts to keep it afloat.
Mm-hmm.
And they're good, but now you have to build a whole world inside of that world.
I agree.
It's not just Star Wars in general, and now we can put out something you've never seen before, but it's Star Wars in this little world. 6 was great standing on 4 and 5. 5 was great standing on 4, but they had to keep going with those things.
Yep.
They went back to 1, 2, and 3. They ran out at 3, and they had to keep making stuff in between. And so, like, I to get back to it, I think it is more out of touch. And it is less popular.
I would agree with that. And you let us know if you agree or disagree. Hot take.
Okay.
I get the older that you probably are, the less you agree with us. If that's a hot take.
I don't know.
I think
the more you would agree with it.
Ooh, there's part 2 of that.
You identify less with the newer stuff.
There you go.
So, number 3, frozen yogurt is superior to frozen custard.
Ooh, man, that's getting personal.
I'm going to say that, so who do you think wrote this? I
want to say John again.
It seems like a mild take.
It's like, you know what I mean? Like, I want to say John again. But I don't know.
It's like saying Dr. Thunder's way better than Dr. Lightning.
They're
both off-brand.
Custard though has Andes, and see that's you get Andes.
I still think it's
off-brand,
even though Andes exists.
But if you get into a room, they would tell you custard's different than ice cream.
I think it could be John. I think it is Josie.
Well,
and I don't want to say why.
Calorie-wise, you're like frozen yogurt is like the goat of like desserts if you get the right kind.
Yeah.
Because like if I go soft serve yogurt at like Brahms versus like a hand dipped cone of
Yeah.
ice cream, it's like a quarter to a third of the calories.
Okay.
And so like to me, it's always like the taste is not a third less. You know what I mean? Like it's like
I get that.
pretty similar. So you're like, why in the world would I not put M&Ms in the frozen soft serve? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like have that. But I also get like, dude, there is like Cookie Casanova from Andy's.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, that slaps.
So
dude.
who do you
It's
think it
so
is?
Good. Josie's a great guess. It's hard because we haven't seen them all. If I'd seen them all, then we could do like a revote.
That makes it even better.
I'm gonna say it's John. I really think it's John.
I think I might agree with this because of the health and calorie thing. If it's just taste, I'm gonna say no.
Mm-hmm.
But like,
so do you go to like an orange leaf? Like, are
No.
you an orange leaf person?
that's the reason I said Josie. She's like, I really want some orange leaf earlier.
Yeah.
After they wrote these, and so I was like, it's got to be her. So you can't take it back though. You're still,
I can't.
your pick is John.
I'm stuck with John.
I think that
Gosh, it's so
frozen
debatable.
custard is better for taste, but you could still argue for the calories you're spending for it or whatever, and I'll give that to you. But if it's like in an isolated incident or like Mythical Kitchen's last meals video,
Oh yeah.
I'm taking frozen custard every day of the week.
Dude.
So better is not true in taste. I think it is true in like cost for calories.
Yes, that's such a good efficiency, right? Like,
Yeah.
what do I want? Taste for regret, like type thing. But also, dude, when I'm going dessert, sometimes I've already gotten there. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care anymore.
We're thinking. Sharon and I are thinking about. It's not
Ooh,
promising.
Ninja Creamy.
No.
Just going to drink.
We're thinking about
I'm
buying
thinking
a car.
Ninja Creamy.
We're thinking about buying a car, and it's like this final price or whatever, and miles and whatever. But it's also like you're gonna get into like a car that you're hoping you'll be in for a while.
You don't know.
You might want to care about like seats,
Yep.
features, whatever.
Yep.
As flippant and like whatever as that sounds, as like surface level as that sounds, you're gonna be stuck with it for a while.
Oh,
So
buying a
that's
car
what it is for me.
stressful.
We've had the conversations about like interior and this and that and whatever. Well, we might save a little bit of money if we go for less stuff. And I'm like, yeah, we might have a worse product for a much longer time.
100%.
Save $500 or
so
something.
that's where I would say better is the harder
We're not
part of
binding.
this. Better, right?
Yeah.
That's what it
So
says.
because it says superior,
Okay.
I'm saying no. Frozen custard is superior. But it's not that I'm the world's biggest frozen custard fan or the world's biggest frozen yogurt hater. It's just which one tastes better. That's what I'm getting.
I'm
from
going to go
superior.
off of this just by purely using that word.
Yep.
And I'm going to use the Raising Cane as my argument.
Yeah.
Are you ready? I think frozen yogurt without toppings has so much more flexibility and potentially can be so much better than just chocolate or vanilla frozen custard. I think the toppings are often what's going to push it over the top with custard. I don't think you're just going to want to go and get like a vanilla
because they're
cone.
like flavored vanilla.
Exactly.
Frozen yogurts.
Right? And so like the flavors of the yogurts can be a lot more versatile. But I don't know if I like toppings as much as the yogurts. So that's hard because if you're going just purely off of those two things,
Yeah, that's a good point.
that's hard.
I hear you, and I do not budge.
I love it. Let us know. Let us know. You vote
have
for who you
spoken.
think it is before you look, and then also
Yeah.
which one's superior.
Okay. Next one. Broccoli, cheese, and rice casserole is the best holiday side dish.
Oh my gosh.
You
know who this is.
I
You don't
feel
even
like I
have
know
to-
who
you
this
don't even
is.
have to know. This is your wife.
I think it's gotta be
guaranteed
Sharon.
Guaranteed.
Here's the rub with this. Broccoli, cheese, and rice casserole is the best holiday side dish. What she's implying, if it's her, is that the one she's had, because I've had some bad broccoli, cheese, and rice casseroles. But also, I've only really eaten Thanksgiving. I've only really eaten Thanksgiving meals with two families, with my family and her family. And of the side dishes for our two families, this may hurt you, but stuffing is like at the bottom. It is the worst.
Yeah.
It is gravel.
Have you had our stuffing?
No, but you've bragged about it, and I want to try it.
I was going to say, that's what I was wondering if we.
Bring me some.
Because otherwise.
December 1st.
So we have a very stark disagreement on this
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not a broccoli fan. And so it has nothing to do with whether or not it's the best version of this disc or not. I'm probably just not going to choose it because I just
It's
don't
not your favorite.
like broccoli. And so it's a lot like mushrooms too. I have the hardest time eating mushrooms. I actually saw one of these really cool recipes last night. It was like, this is the best dish, whatever. And it literally started the recipe out with like, take 6 giant mushrooms. And I just clicked off of it. I was like, well, I'm not into that. I was like, I don't even need to know the rest of the recipe.
I feel the same way.
And so that's the struggle with this. However, I will admit that there is it's almost like ratatouille, and I know that's like a crazy reference to plot, but like when you have a dish that emotionally attaches to a holiday or to a season, and then that dish elevates to like a position that's not just taste.
Yeah. So for me, I would disagree with this, not because the ones we've had aren't amazing, but I would put it second place. Now, when we say holiday side dish, we are excluding main meats, we're excluding drinks, and we're excluding desserts, which would exclude like a sweet potato or yam kind of casserole pie.
I would agree
thing.
this is Sharon, but if like, for example, if she changed this to her potatoes, her like mashed potatoes are like, I would be like,
her mashed potatoes are better.
Like, you know what? I don't necessarily always look for mashed potatoes, but if I knew they were her mashed potatoes, I would probably go, yeah, those are the best mashed potatoes I've ever had as a side dish.
So I think broccoli cheese is third.
Ooh.
Her mashed potatoes are first, and my nostalgic holiday side dish is corn casserole.
Oh my gosh.
When I was 16, my mom asked me, what kind of birthday cake do you want? And I said, corn casserole. And I brought it to church with candles in it.
Listen, we need to let that be the hot take. All right.
That
Because here's what I was about to say. All right, if you force me to choose between corn casserole and broccoli cheese rice,
you're picking broccoli
I don't know.
Rice?
I think I'm going broccoli.
That's fine. You can be wrong. Okay, pineapple belongs on pizza.
Oh,
who do you think this is?
Golly. You know, it could be my wife rage baiting me.
Yeah, could be. It could be my wife in full seriousness. I'm pretty sure her Twitter bio is like, Creed isn't as bad as he thought it was. Pineapple on pizza is great, and Tobey Maguire wasn't a half bad Spider-Man.
Oh my!
Pretty sure that's her Twitter bio. Is just like
shots,
triple tap of
shots fired.
Yeah. So it could be her.
We
have 9 cards. We only have 7 staff members.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that at some point because, oh gosh, dude.
Trevor did it.
So half my kids hate that still, and the other one really likes it. And so that is a raging debate of hot take in our house.
I did it in front of Jake Flowers last night. He was like, who did that? I got his mom to say it because I did the motion. She was like,
that's how we do it, annoying them now. Here's what I will say. I think this debate is actually larger than pineapple and pizza.
Sure.
I think this debate is more savory and sweet.
Yeah.
Than it is. And then it's also, where does fruit belong and where does it not belong?
And John would have some harsh opinions on this, which makes me think John is almost certainly not a huge pineapple on pizza guy. Yep. This can't be his. I feel like it's Sharon or Katrina. I feel like Josie would not.
So here's
pick this or write it.
Here's where I've been a little bit swayed. With fruit.
Yep.
I am not a sweet and savory person, and I also used to be. This is just a me thing. Maybe you're out there.
Before Christ,
before Jesus. Yep. I didn't like fruit when it was warm.
Okay.
So anytime it got hot. So like cheesecake with berries, great. It's chilled. Yeah. It's fine. Yogurt parfaits, anything where it was cold.
Salad,
fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if it was hot, it was something about, it was like drinking warmish water. You know what I mean? Like it just didn't quite have.
Feels wrong.
I couldn't do it. But then I had some really good apple pie with some ice cream. And I was like, okay, this is pretty good. I had to admit, like, there was a little bit of a moment of like the needle swung.
Yeah.
But if you told me you had a hot pie with like peach or like strawberry or like dairy, I probably wouldn't choose it. I probably would be like, nah, I don't want it. So I struggle with pizza because of that very same thing.
Yep. Hot and fruit
before I even get to the savory thing.
Yeah.
Where it's like that.
Now,
so
real quick, who do you think it is? I said Sharon or Josie. I'm going to say
I kind of
Sharon.
vote. I think
some people did some doubles.
I was going to say, I think that's Sharon. I think it's Sharon because she knew that is something that not only is between us, but that I know that half the people right now are looking at their screen going, that's like heresy. You should never say that. The other half are going, it's pretty good. Have you tried it?
Yeah. Okay. We're locked in on Sharon.
Okay.
I agree with you. It is more in general the savory sweet.
Yeah.
I would also say it's the acidic
This coffee's good, by the way.
Savory.
As I talk about acidic.
Yeah. By the way, this is we have it at the church, but this is my coffee that I roast, Anamnesis Coffee. Find us on Facebook. We have a Square Order site. I think it's pretty good.
He makes it himself, roasts it. Doesn't make the actual bean.
I tuck it into bed at night. Read a bedtime story.
So are you a pineapple person on pizza? You are. Okay. I don't know if I knew that.
Here's the larger thing. You were talking about sweet.
Savory and sweet. Yep.
So like pineapple can save a bad pizza and make it like still kind of enjoyable, still intriguing. But I think you can also like make a really good pizza, still really good, but take it in a new genre direction. It's the same way I feel about hot honey on pizza. If you like hot honey,
I couldn't agree with you more.
Agreeing with.
Couldn't agree with you more.
Now, the thing I don't love is when a pineapple pizza is like only sweet.
Yeah, the sauce is too sweet.
I need the sauce to compete with it or like add something else.
Such a good take. That's a good take.
Red chili flakes. I need garlic or something that's like not just.
I was going to say garlic would work.
But for the same reason I love Mike's Hot Honey or whatever custom one.
I forget you like that a lot. See, I don't.
I do.
That's where I push back with that savory and sweet idea. Also, pineapple upside down cake. Did you ever grow up with that? Because that was something my dad loved.
Seldom.
My dad would love it, but my mom would never make it because nobody else would eat it.
Yeah.
And so like that was that other like idea of fruit warm.
Here's the other thing. I love a lot of easy for Americans to enjoy Asian food.
Yeah.
So American Chinese food, of course, but also like Thai food.
Yeah.
And like Indian food and whatever. And a lot of those play with sweet and spicy, sweet and savory.
Sweet and sour chicken
for the, but for like Indian and Thai dishes.
Yeah.
There's like curries and stuff with coconut milk, which is sweet. But then it's like so many spices to make it pretty savory and all this kind of stuff. So I love all that. And
I love how that divides
like,
people.
I feel like that's so like we were just at Nawab and had their lunch buffet on Sunday a couple weeks ago. And they had a like mango curry chicken.
Yep.
That's great. It's savory. It's definitely sweet. I loved it.
And see, that's where like Katrina would go more like orange chicken. Yeah. I'd go more kung pao. I'd rather just be spicy.
Do you like General Tso's?
It's okay.
Because it's sweet
it's
and
okay.
spicy.
Like, it's not my favorite.
Yeah.
Teriyaki would probably be the closest thing, but I don't put the teriyaki sauce on it because I don't want it too sweet. And so, like, I would keep it more smoky. Well, this is a great debate because I feel like you could have a whole house debated on this, and it would be like both could be right.
Yeah.
As weird as that sounds, but I also feel like if your palate is able to handle it, pineapple sometimes is a great addition to pizza.
Yeah.
I wish sometimes that I could get more there, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I also think sometimes
strong
it's just not, I'm not strong enough.
I can't do it.
I can't do it.
Okay. Tangled is a superior movie to Frozen, despite Frozen being more popular.
Ooh. Golly, someone is rage baiting because this is like the internet could light on fire with that.
This feels like a Josie take.
There'd be like 8-year-old girls right now, like angry.
I feel like this is Josie.
Like 25-year-old women.
Or Katrina, but probably Josie, because she has the youngest kids who watch the most kids' movies.
That's true. But Katrina's also a Disney fiend.
That's true.
And also...
Do you feel like you've heard this sentiment before?
I don't know if I have. That's the thing I was about to say. I don't know if I've heard this, though. Although I could see her saying it.
Yeah.
Now, can we just eliminate John? Like, John didn't say this. There's no way John said it. Okay. Did Sharon say this? There's no way Sharon say this. Okay.
I don't think she cares enough
Yep.
about some of these specific movies.
I feel like you had to have kids this age because, like, that the kids, like Frozen got so big, and Katrina and I made our kids watch Tangled. Like, because they were like, because we really liked Flynn Rider. We really liked like Flynn and like some of the characters a lot.
I think that before I talk about the content, I think it's Katrina.
I think Katrina would think through this. I would agree with you. I
think it could be Josie too, and maybe Josie was
doubled up,
kind of over Frozen because of Tangled, or maybe she just thought at the beginning. But I'm voting Katrina. And you're saying the same thing? Or?
I'm gonna go same thing. I'm gonna say that she's rage baiting.
I think it's definitely a better movie than Frozen. I think a lot of the characters are way more compelling in Tangled than in Frozen.
I agree.
I think Olaf is a nonsense character.
He is.
He's not doing anything. I think Anna and Elsa are the only two mildly compelling characters, but still more about the magic and the power than it is about them as people. It's sort of about it, but not in as compelling of a way to me as Tangled. I think that their parents, their town, the blonde guy, the elk or whatever. None of those people are that compelling. They're just kind of there. They're just kind of doing
the
stuff.
fact that you can't remember their names tells you a lot too.
Yeah. I feel like that episode of The Office where it's like, oh, I totally know all our IT guys' names. Fatso, Turban, Fatso 2. Like I got nothing on them.
Here's the thing. Kristoff and Sven are the characters.
Yeah, sure.
There we go. I'll get
They're
you there.
right.
But I feel like that gives me credibility to say, like, I have watched both of these movies probably more. The thing that I would tell you and why I lean towards it's Katrina is because Tangled holds a very special place before we had kids.
Yeah.
For Katrina and I. The scene with the floating lights and they're in the boat is probably one of the most underrated songs in probably Disney lore. And the fact that like Let It Go got so huge, but that other song felt like it never really had its moment, I think was purely because social media, you want to call it the TikTok world, you want to call it whatever, technology just hadn't quite got there for it to go as viral. And so to me, you're right. The depth of the story of Tangled is so cool because the parents weren't actually dead. So like the Frozen feels like it pulls on the lure of like the parents died and you got to figure it out again.
Which was every 90s and early 2000s.
Like 25
Disney
movies, I think, that Disney's done that.
King.
And so there's a certain psychology of that like puts the kid that's watching in a position to have to learn and grow and like step up and figure things out on their own.
Yep.
I love the idea of finding your way home as kind of the end, and that your parents are waiting for you the whole time and they've loved you the whole time and that they're truly like care about you.
Sweet.
Anyway, so
I just think the characters are better in Tangled. The characters and the character development.
I think this is not a hot take. I think this is more of a real take that you need to reset your
Buckle
mind
up.
Buckle up.
Wake up, Disney watchers.
Because I'm telling you, if you have not let yourself enjoy Tangled, you may have just given into the narrative that Frozen's better.
Yeah. Take it away. We're done with that one. Colas are the worst mainstream sodas.
Ooh. Dr. Pepper people flying in from the ridge.
I'm just going to take a sip. What do you think it is?
John's not a huge cola guy. But he didn't say he had a hot take. This is a hot take.
I think this could be the hottest take he could come up with.
Is this you?
This is me, 100%. Cola's got nothing. They aren't doing any work out here.
Oh my gosh. I love Coke Zero.
I think, correct me if I'm wrong. Think back to when sodas were just sodas. And then the first time you heard about a soda with a flavor.
Yeah.
Like vanilla, cherry.
Cherry
whatever.
Coke.
Yeah. Cherry what?
Coke.
What needed help? Coke. Boom. Checkmate. I think that there are so many sodas out there, but like the mainstream kinds of sodas. I named colas. I didn't name Coke or Pepsi.
I think that's a big deal because if you said Pepsi, I'd have been with you.
I think there's a good argument to be made, one against the other and whatever. but of the main kinds of sodas that are put out, the main genres of sodas.
Yeah.
So whether it's Pepsi or Coke or some of the other brands, they have a cola, they have a root beer, they have a lemon lime.
Yeah.
They might have a more lemon lime trying to compete with Mountain Dew instead of Sprite. So like Mellow Yellow from the Coke side. And then did I already mention orange soda?
Maybe.
Orange soda, sometimes other fruit kind of sodas. Maybe a ginger ale.
Hit me with the most off-brand brand that you've had of cola or like what's a brand that you had growing up that you don't see no more? Like you have Shasta soda.
Yeah, I had Shasta.
Okay.
RC Cola is big in St. Louis.
Yep. RC Cola was one that I had that I didn't realize was Royal Cola. I didn't know that that's what it was. Yeah. I was like, I've been eating the British. No, it's not. It's Canadian.
Dump this in the harbor.
I'm trying to think what other ones we had. We had Dr.
I feel like off-brands don't count. Like Dr. Thunder from Aldi probably. Or Walmart.
There was certain ones that were better, though. You know what I mean? Like there was certain ones that were better.
The reason I say of the mainstream sodas, think about one brand, compare all their options equally. So,
I completely agree with you that that's basically like saying vanilla pulls too much weight. Like you're always going to pick a different flavor of ice cream.
It's
You're never
Kane's argument. Why do you need a sauce?
Yep.
Why do you need vanilla or cherry? Why do you need anything else? Because you're the weakest.
The thing
I would disagree with that with Kane.
So here's the thing I would tell you wholeheartedly that if you offered me a Diet Pepsi or a Diet Pepsi with lime, I would take a Diet Pepsi or a Diet Coke with lime every single time over just pure Diet Coke. But if Coke Zero is the difference, that's the only one. But then I would say it's not the natural Coke. It's still got changes
Here's the
to
thing.
it. Mm-hmm.
Take your pick, Diet or Zero or normal.
Okay, you still think it's the exact
take your
same.
pick.
Okay.
What is cola supposed to taste like? Dr. Pepper is at least vaguely like
unique
cherry-ish. I know they have cherry Dr. Pepper as well, but it's like some sort of like candied, fruity, cherry-ish, but maybe with some like warm spices, maybe.
Have you
Something
seen
in that vein.
The argument that it's just root beer and Coke mixed together? That's all Dr. Pepper
Could
is?
be. Made it a lot better with the root beer.
Yeah, that's all
root beer,
I've seen.
sarsaparilla and sugar and all that.
Yep.
Lemon lime is obviously lemon and lime. Mountain Dew is like sour candy. It's got like a lot more of that citric acid than just a normal lemon lime soda.
Yep.
All the fruit sodas are obviously trying to taste like they're fruits, or at least as much as a fruity candy would taste like that fruit. What does a cola taste like? Tastes like nothing. I'm not saying it has no flavor. I'm saying it tastes. It compares.
I feel like I'm a
nothing.
biased person
That's
to
fine.
this. However, I also don't disagree with your making a lot of good points. The only thing I would tell you, like, do you have specific drinks with specific foods? Like when you have a food, you want a certain, like, all right, the easy one is like, obviously breakfast. Like if you're going to have breakfast, you want a flat white or you like want some sort of
I'm John Cena.
Coffee,
Yes.
something. Like you want some sort of
with
coffee
breakfast
drink.
sounds great.
Right?
Orange juice with breakfast is okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
I think it's good in the right circumstances with the right breakfast.
Do you have any sodas or anything carbonated that you would choose with a certain?
So I drank a ton of Mountain Dew growing up.
Oh, gosh,
I'm sort of
that's the
out of
one.
Mountain
That's
Dew
the direction I'm going.
now. But I drank a lot of Dr. Pepper in my last year or so of high school, and then all through college, and then a little bit into out of college. And then like root beer was like always a favorite alternate, no matter where I was at.
Did you have a favorite kind of root beer?
I used to hate Barks. I used to
See, I hate Mug. I can't do Mug.
love A&W.
A&W is really good.
But then love
we can agree on that.
What's the IBC more than A&W?
IBC's so good.
At this point in my life, I like Barks more than I used to.
Dude, it's at Chipotle. That's the only reason I was going to, because that's the conclusion I have is like all these places that I used to go. Because I don't really drink that much soda anymore. But I have Coke Zero or I'll have a Diet Dr. Pepper sometimes when we go, like we just had Mexican.
Yeah.
But that's because I don't have it anywhere else.
Yeah.
I don't have Diet.
That's where I get orange sodas is Mexican places.
There you go. Because
Where
you
they
get them
have,
out the bottles.
Yeah, either like a Crush or something like that, or the actual Mandarin whatever.
Here's what I'm going to say.
Doritos.
I agree with you that colas are overrated. I think they're overrated.
What soda is better than a cola?
The only pushback I have.
Or What soda is cola better than in the same brand?
The only pushback I have is a nostalgic moment where I used to get the Mexican-made Cokes in the bottle.
Yeah.
And that was like a Coke that I just felt like hit harder than anything. But it's not made the same way anymore, so it doesn't necessarily have that same kick. But if you're asking me what can of soda I want, I'm going to go Mountain Dew. If I got like any choice, like a cold can of Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
Like if I don't care how long I live and how much sugar's in it anymore, and you're just telling me it's just preference, dude, cold can of Mountain Dew still hits so hard.
I just don't think that colas, again, you could say, hey, a Coke or a Diet Coke or whatever is better than Dr. Thunder or whatever. That's kind of cheating, though.
Well,
it's like saying Raising Cane's is such a good chicken place. It's way better than McDonald's.
I think that's my whole point is like, I think that's why I'm starting to agree with you. Because if you put a cold Coke and a cold Mountain Dew and you ask me which one I would want in a can, probably choose a Mountain Dew if I had to choose. And so I think most of the people listening, if you put the cold whatever they have next to it versus a cold can of Pepsi or a can of Coke, I don't think the majority's choosing the Pepsi or the Coke.
Cold and I think that's sodas.
I think that's your whole point. Is like I think weakest. You got to live with that reality. Vanilla is great, but it may not be the best.
Like how a lot of sodas came from elixirs and people trying to sell whatever in the 1800s. Coke and Pepsi and colas
also
are the ones
drugs.
that taste the most like it's a medicine that's not going to work from a guy pulling a cart.
There's the hot take. There's the hot take.
Doing the right thing and the hard thing are never separate. I disagree.
Woo!
But okay.
Hold on, we gotta put that one up here.
Did you give 2? Because I feel like that's you.
That is me.
Yeah. Doing the right thing and the hard thing are never separate. Have you seen Jackass?
I have.
Done. That was it.
I didn't say that there wasn't hard things separate than the right thing. I just said if you're gonna do the
every right thing is difficult.
It's always gonna be hard.
I disagree with the wording of this. Doing the right thing and the hard thing are never separate. I would say there is a hard thing without a right thing. But if you're saying doing the right thing
will always be hard,
never
easy,
is always a hard thing. I could see.
That's what I meant. Maybe I didn't word that right, but that's what I meant. I meant to say like doing the right thing is always going to be hard. They're never separate.
I don't know about that as an ultimate statement. This is always this way. I think if you define hard as costly, then I would agree. If you define hard as difficult, I would disagree.
See, I
think there are people who are overworked and burnt out, and they get sick, and they're like bedridden for 2 weeks. Was that difficult? No. Was that costly? Yeah. What, like if you find a lot of your worth in being productive and accolades and whatever, yeah, it costs you the benefits of your hard work that you're doing. Was it difficult? Probably not. It's probably helpful for you. It's probably good to rest. You're probably going to crash at the beginning. I don't know. I feel like I can think of some exceptions, but I agree with the big idea that like most right things are going to be costly to some extent.
I think why I like the idea of this so much, and I've actually done a lot of thinking on this because I'm actually trying to teach 3 boys how to do the right thing.
Yep.
And it always feels like it's just easier to not. And so it's not necessarily that I'm trying to prove that the right thing is always going to be super duper duper hard. I feel like when you learn to just start to do the right thing, it does feel easier sometimes. But I don't think it's because it gets less hard.
It's because it's rewarding.
It's because it's rewarding and it starts to feel right.
Yeah.
And so,
You've talked about this before with like going to the gym and getting in shape and losing weight. Saying that being fat is hard.
Yep.
And going to the gym is hard.
Choose your hard.
Choose the hard thing you want to do. And I think that's true, that they're like thinking about stories we've heard about maybe Native Americans, First Peoples, or like cavemen or whatever, hunter-gatherers. Is gathering hard? Yes.
Is starving?
Farming hard? Yes.
Yep.
Do they lead to the same place? No.
No.
Honestly, farming, you're going to be stuck for a while without food. You probably need to do both to get yourself off the ground. Well, like the long-term rewards of all the farming, the tilling, the planting, the watering, the whatever, versus just gathering, well, you're going to end up with a lot more food if you do farming efficiently and effectively and you know what you're doing and whatever. The general idea of effective farming is going to lead to a lot more prosperity than the general idea of effective gathering, because you're just hoping every day you found some more.
Absolutely. And I think the thing I'm trying to draw to that I think leaves this more vague than I meant it to be, but it's also part of the discussion, is like I'm not necessarily trying to draw of like wisdom. I'm more trying to draw morality, or like what is the spirit, or what God would call in Christianity the right thing to do, which may be self-sacrificing. It may be putting others in front of yourself. It may be actually making those right choices, which I think was watching my youngest open the door for somebody as he got to school today. And the other person like kind of told him to go in first, and he did, and he didn't end up holding the door. But as I was driving away, I was thinking, I'm really glad that he chose to wait and open the door for the person behind him. Yeah. But why did he? Because it's cold. Yeah. He's already a little bit later than he probably wanted to be. Mm-hmm. But to him, it's like, no, I'm going to, because that's the right thing. And that's where that kind of was sticking in my head, where I'm thinking like, you wouldn't think about it. You're just like, I just hold the door. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it still has a cost that you've counted, but it doesn't feel hard anymore. Like you've already just decided. Yeah.
But that's more a conversation about habit, which is like a book that we read this past year. Your Future Self Will Thank You, Secrets to Self-Control from the Bible and Brain Science. Yep. It's more about habit than it is about, was it difficult to do one or the other? Yep. But yeah, I think doing the right thing makes you more selfless. Mm-hmm. And that can sometimes, if not often, cost you a little bit, but is way more rewarding. And so like, it is hard. Also, it's less hard. That's sort of what the same thing about Christianity. Talking to people about Jesus and being like, he'll fix everything in your life. And you're like, no. Also, this is the hardest life you can choose. Yeah, wait, what?
Wait, this is both?
Those are both kind of true. And the way that doing the right thing is hard, but more rewarding. Yeah, it is the most rewarding life. And it is a hard life. And it's constantly critiquing you.
Absolutely. And I think it really gets to the idea of privilege versus like you're creating your own. I also think that like following the gift of Jesus is still hard, even though it's a gift. This is a good discussion. Also, I may not be 100% right. Ryan may be right. I don't know.
Second to last one. Santa isn't real.
Oh my God.
Fake.
What?
Fake. Just kidding. Being a Jesus follower is more simple than most would admit, and more difficult and painful than most know. I almost want to say that to you again.
It is me.
Okay. Just the wording of it, I'm like, that sounds like that sounds like exactly what we just said. More simple and more difficult and painful. Yeah, we literally just said all of that.
We did a large portion. I think what I find difficult about this take is people want to make the first part more complicated and the less part less sacrificial. Yeah. And so I think the take about it is you probably grew up with either the first part being more complicated than it needed to be and the second part downplayed. Yeah. And so the hot take is that you don't want this to be true the longer you walk with Jesus, because the harder it is to be obedient in both sides. Yeah.
It's easy to get in. And it's also going to require or ask a lot of you the whole time. And I think there's never a like you rose the corporate ladder and now it's real easy.
And I also think your marching orders are simple. They're not complicated. Yeah. They are just difficult. And I also think like, for example, I think what we were talking about earlier, like it's really hard when the cost, or it's really easy when the cost is low to be simple. Yeah. It's really hard when the cost is high to trust simplicity. Yeah. Because you're like, I don't know. And you're like, no, you really put all your eggs in this simple basket. You're not spreading it over a bunch of, you're like holding to this idea. I think it's part of because we're reading this book by N.T. Wright too, of like believing in what the word resurrection means and like trusting that that's actually something that we believe in. Yeah. Which stay tuned for that. It's been a much more entertaining book. I found it to be so far.
So far, way better. Better's maybe not the right word. Yeah. I think it's the right word.
It is.
Way easier to follow
it is better.
The direction he's going than Simply Christian.
I agree. And then also, I think the presentation of it has just been a little bit more refined. And so it feels a little bit more
it's all in one direction.
digestible.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think that's where this question's coming from is like the simplicity of the book that we're reading, the Surprised by Hope is the book, is surprising, but also believing in that hope is harder than I realized.
Yeah.
Like trusting in that hope is harder than I realized.
I feel like Gospel Allegiance by Matthew Bates really goes along with that and helped me a lot. But maybe we'll talk about that more another day.
I like that. Last one. Booyah.
Mustard is superior to ketchup. This is Sharon.
Oh, that hurts me to even read.
Let me pull out the frozen yogurt thing. Calorie wise,
it is true.
Way better than ketchup. I don't know if I agree totally, but I think in a family of flavors, I would agree. Ketchup
it's hard.
Is better on its own. Mustard is better with other stuff. I would take a Cuban over a McDouble any day.
Wow.
Because the mustard.
You're doing all kinds of hot takes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not a mustard fan.
But so I don't want to put mustard on fries, which is almost certainly what Sharon's
This is a hard decision because I'm not necessarily making a debate over like, it'd be like, I don't like frozen yogurt. So like, I don't even have a way to talk about this.
Yeah.
However, I like a grilled cheese that uses mustard sometimes rather than butter.
Oh, and grill the bread?
To grill the bread. And also a lot of barbecue uses it as a binder.
Yep.
And so I don't ever notice it. For example, pastrami a lot of times is used as a heavy mustard as like the binder for a lot of the spices.
Yeah.
I love pastrami. And so I don't mind that. The difference, I think, too, which is important, tomatoes are a fruit. And so a lot of times more of what this is like, do you like more like a taste of like a seed or a nut type of thing over a fruit? It's like a jam versus something that's more like savory because mustard's not going to be sweet.
The later I've gotten in my life, the more I like tang and acidity and all that kind of stuff. And that's why I like mustard. I have earlier on in my life, as a small child who only wants ketchup on everything, maybe that ruined it for me. It'd be like, hey, you want a cold cut sandwich? Yeah. What do you want on it? Ketchup.
Yep.
Like ketchup's bleeding through the white Wonder Bread. That's gross to me now. I think that's disgusting.
So you would put on like turkey sandwiches or like ham sandwiches?
I would as a child.
Oh, no wonder you ruined yourself.
Yeah, I did that to myself.
See, I order a double or like a double quarter
pounder. I still
pounder,
get on burgers, yeah.
But extra ketchup so I don't even have to put ketchup with my fries. I'll just naturally just take a bite and I can take a bite of French fries and it's already got enough ketchup for both. So evidently I haven't grown up. I'm immature. So I was going to say that's the hot take, right? So I don't have to even use extra ketchup. And a lot of times it drips, so then I already get ketchup there. It's already in the box.
I don't love planning on doing that, but I love doing it.
Yeah,
so
that was my logic.
I hate planning on doing it though.
I'm the type of person that would run in and fill up the ketchup things even if I went through the drive-thru because I wanted to be able to dip my fries in it. But then I was like, if I order it extra, I don't have to do that. Here's where I think this divides us. If you grew up in a home where ketchup was something that your parents ate and was a main component of meals, or if it wasn't, I think that has a lot to do with
We
this
were
question.
a ketchup household. When we made Sloppy Joe's, it was literally ketchup mustard barbecue sauce.
Wow.
When we make meatloaf, this is probably more normal. It's ketchup on top.
So it may have drove you to the mustard camp or kept you in the ketchup camp.
I think the thing that got me to the mustard camp was maybe like a McDouble or something that had mustard on it one time and it just sort of mixed in and it's like, okay. But then salads, vinaigrettes, honey mustard, etc., all that kind of acidic, sharp stuff. I was like, I kind of like this. Oh, I could have been having this on my burgers my whole life.
Yep.
And now that is like the condiment on a cold cut kind of sandwich that I love. I'll go like whatever meat, whatever cheese.
Yep.
Pickles, onions, mustard. The sharpest possible combo.
I was going to say, because you're a pickle guy, see, I don't go pickle, so it's like the same thing. It's that vinegary, acidity.
And I'm pretty sure yellow mustard is like ground up mustard seeds and then vinegar or something like that.
Which is Dijon is more just like...
Dijon is like white wine.
Yeah,
with
it's just like and much more grainy of a...
No, those are like stone ground mustards. There are mini mustards. Honey mustard could frankly be any of them. Dijon is with white wine. Yellow mustard is just mustard seeds and vinegar. Stone ground mustard or chunky mustard sounds wrong, but seedy mustard. Spicy brown mustard. Those all are like a little different, but in the same family. But yellow mustard seems the most basic because it's the most like Kraft mac and cheese yellow.
Spicy mustards that I didn't hate, but it has to be with something else. It was not going to be the dominant
I hate it
flavor.
when it's a spicy mustard or like a seedy mustard and it's like quinoa or like minced garlic. I hate like chewing on that stuff.
I can't do that, but I would say I've had some salad dressings that have had a little bit in it. And
do you like honey mustard?
No. So that's where like dipping my like chicken nuggets or doing anything like that, I would stay 1,000 meters away from that.
If it's not Cane's and it's not like a Nashville hot kind of sandwich, I'm getting chicken or whatever, and I'm getting a barbecue and a honey mustard and just all.
See, that's why that reinforces the first one. Is the Cane's only has a honey mustard as the second option, and both of those are not my choice.
Yep.
And so the chicken.
You should rethink your first choice.
Hey, this has been fun. Hey, here's the other thing you can do. Leave some other hot takes in the comments if there's some things that you're like, hey, you guys need to let me know about this one.
And we'll comment in 5 words or less if you're right or wrong.
We'll also just tell you you're wrong. And if you are.
Yep.
We'll let you know the answers to whose these really were.
Bottom of the description of the episode.
I will warn you, I had one other that I didn't admit was mine. And so you can figure out which one of those is.
I don't remember which one it was, but I remember feeling like this is so many from Trevor. This can't possibly be true. And then you had 2 more at the end.
Yep, which I was happy to see. So I think there's a level of fun inside of this. As always, check out our book that we're reading right now if you haven't.
Surprised by Hope.
Yep.
It looks like this, but with different words on the
N.T.
front.
Wright is the author. It's actually been really fun. We're going to use it as kind of a launching pad for Easter. And so you'll be ahead of the curve, but also it's something that I think has just been really helpful. Current circumstance, life, world events. I think it's just really healthy to kind of bring you back in. He kind of has a great intro to kind of a different time period that feels very similar to now and why this is an important conversation. So you can check that out. As always, there's 249 other episodes on here that you could check out. And we really appreciate if you've been somebody that's a longtime listener or somebody that's new. We love to hear it. If there's anything else that you'd like to hear us talk about or do, there's plenty of things to check out in our catalog. Ryan, any last thoughts? I mean, I feel like we figured all the hot takes out.
You're welcome. That's my last thought.
As always, subscribe, leave us a review or share with a friend. Leave a comment if you want to let us know who won. And until next time, have a great, glorious day of the Lord. We'll see you later.
See ya.